What is up, YouTube? That's here, bringing you guys another rental team, another video where I break down a rental team submitted by a viewer on my Patreon. You guys can submit your own teams by checking out the Patreon. I'm going to show you guys right here. Submit your own rental teams for me to use them live on stream. We've been doing this for a couple days already. It's been a ton of fun. We checked out that super cool Palke team today. We're going to be checking out Michael's Zacian Imprision team. I think it's a lot of cool. It's really cool. We have a bunch of other teams to look at, and if you guys want me to check out your teams as well, you know, think about checking out the Patreon. Even the smallest tier, if you guys leave a comment on that post, I will look at it, I will fix it, I'll let you know what I think. And it's a great way for you to get feedback and get little tips and tricks and see me play the teams live and get feedback on what I think live. I'm like, wow, I think you might want to change this move. Wow, I think you might want to change these EVs. Wow, I think you might want to change these items. It's a great way to get a bunch of eyes on your team, to get a bunch of fixing, you know, as fast as possible. So, like I said, this is a pretty cool team. It is a Zacian team with Imprison. Guys, remember, Imprison makes it so your opponent can't use the moves that you have. What I really like about this is, yeah, it's made for the Zacian mirror, so they can't use, like, you know, Behemoth Blade, Iron Head turns into Behemoth Blade and close combat, but I also think it's really cool because it blocks Protect, and so they can't protect against the Zacian, you just slam people in the face. So I really like that. Overall, I like what this team's doing, and I like a bunch of the items. That Cinderace, I think, is supposed to have Life Orb. I think the Cinderace is supposed to have Life Orb. Let me just check. Oh, say. Cinderace has Life Orb instead of Safety Goggles, correct one below. I input the correct code, but they still didn't change it to Life Orb. So the first thing that looked at me at this team, I was like, wow, that Cinderace should totally have a Life Orb. So the Cinderace should have Life Orb. Unfortunately, it doesn't really matter. Mind Shroud, Black Belt, that's a little bit unique. I would probably go with something like... I probably would actually go with like the safety goggles on the Mind Shroud personally, because you can taunt through redirection on their Xerneas with your if you had safety goggles. I like that. Real with Grassy God, always gonna be great with the vest. Moltres with Lumberry. Now this is where I think it's kind of weird. I'm not the biggest fan of Lumberry Moltres. I don't really see a reason for it. I'm not seeing the vibe there because Moltres is a dark type, so like a lot of those prankster moves, like prankster Thunder Waves and stuff, can't even affect it anyways. If it were me and I was making this team, I would actually really look at making Moltres into potentially a Walk-In Berry, so when they leave with their Regieleki and they Thunderbolt or Volt Switch or Electro you, not only does it not kill you, it might even just activate your Berserk and then you just one-shot both their Pokemon with the Fiery Wrath. That'd be kind of nice. And as for the Pelipper, it's cool to see Weather Ball. Weather Ball is actually a lot stronger than, like, you know, Scald or something like that if it's in the rain, because it turns into a 100 base move and then gets the stab and the rain and stuff like that. So it's a big move. Still got to go with Scald. Scald is one of the best moves in the game. You see any Pokemon that can get Scald, even if it doesn't stab it, they still usually run Scald, just because Scald is so freaking good. Scald is absolutely amazing. It's always worth using. And even though Weather Ball might be a little bit more damage, I understand that might be actually made to, like, make sure you can KO in Sins. I still think that Scald's going to be better. We can take a look at the EVs for this team. I have that right over here. You can see Zacian's going to be a 252 set, and you want to be as fast as possible for other Zacians. I get that. Cinderace, very simple, 252 set. You don't actually need this 252 on a 119. I think the only Pokemon you have to be outspeeding is probably Whimsicott, so that's a 116. So you have to take out just a little. You can take out a little bit of a little bit of speed. Put that in HP, just because you don't need to there's no other Cinderaces you're speed tying, so you don't need to worry about it. Rillaboom, 0 speed reduction Rillaboom. I can get behind that, so I do like that. Moltres, full speed Moltres. I understand the reason for full speed Moltres because you are playing, you know, Moltres is base 90, Kyra's 90, Groudon's 90, all these restrictions a lot of 90, so I can understand that, and because we're so aggressive, it makes even more sense to play Walk-In Berry. Mind Shroud, 252 squatted up. You gotta be timid. Oh, or not timid. You gotta be jolly. You gotta do it. You have to be jolly. Mind Shroud is so popular, and not only if you're adamant, right? If you're adamant, you're getting outsped by Urshifu, and like, no one wants to see that. Like, oh my gosh, so you got to be jolly on this thing. As for Pelipper, yeah, we're modest here. So in this situation, you're wasting a little bit of EVs here because you're going like investment on both of these stats. And so normally you want to put your nature into your highest stat, which is here. So you're actually wasting 1 point by doing it like this, just because you'd get just a more reward on your nature by putting it here. So like right now, we want to hit to 142. 142, 137, let's see if we can mess with it. We want to get 142, but we want to do it with nature. 142, so it's like 60, I'm just trying to find the number. 142, that's way over. 42, 76. 233, 68. So 141. So we can get to 141. So we can actually get an extra point here by going with the 76. So we get an extra point of defense there. And then we go. So we get 2 points. You get 2 points more. You're wasting 2 points by not doing it like this, as opposed to having it how you were before. That's just because, like I said, you get your natures give a 10% boost. So you want to put your natures if you're already putting stats in those points, like this. So just future reference. Other than that, let's hop right into it and see if we can win some games. Here we go. Oh, wow, that team has a Gengar. I also wanted to talk a little bit about, so you have this Pelipper, right, that has a ton of bulk investment. If it were me, I would take that Sash and put it on so many other places. I think Sash Cinderace would be cool. I think Sash Minechow is pretty standard. I think you could use your Sash a little bit better in this team and not really waste it on a bulky Pokemon like Pelipper. Speaking of Pelipper, though, I think it's a great lead in this situation. It's so good versus things like Rillaboom and Entei. I absolutely love it. It's even good against Zacian. So I actually think like Pelipper Zacian is like not a bad lead. I also think we can get away with, well, yeah, I don't have any Intimidators. Yeah, I'm just leave with this. Pelipper Zacian, easy peasy. I do think we might want to bring a couple Pokemon that can give us a little bit of comeback power in the late game. Let's actually see. Do we want Minechow here? We don't really need Wide Guard. But I don't think like the Feint's worth it. Yeah, Gengar kind of just walls it hard. Gengar is actually not that bad versus our team. I think we might be able to get a Tailwind up, so I think Moltres can be good. And then I think we do have to bring Cinderace, even though it's going to be raining. I think you have to bring Cinderace just because I think it might be usable versus that Zacian. I could be wrong though. I actually, you know what? I'm going to bring Rillaboom. I just don't want to. I don't want to have to deal with the. I don't want to have to deal with that Melodic. Pelipper can deal with Entei. Rillaboom deals with Melodic. Zacian deals with their Zacian. We should be good to go. So let's go. See if we can win some games on the ranked ladder. So if you guys like this little series and you want to see me continue it, think about leaving a comment. You know, I love fixing teams like this. I like using them. And it's so much more fun to play the game on like the cart like this than to just get a team given on Patreon or given a team on like Showdown, fix it on Showdown, maybe play like a game on Showdown. This is so much better, I think. So Gengar Zacian. Gengar's a great lead versus our team. I really like the Gengar here. If it has Thunderbolt, it can really check our Pelipper, and then it's a good situation. We have that Sash. I wonder if they're going to Will-O-Wisp us. I don't think they are. Now, there's two ways we can play this right now. We can go protect Zacian. We can totally go protect Zacian. Did we speed tie there with our Intrepid Swords? Ooh, are they full speed Zacian? Are we going to risk it for the biscuit? I think we are. I think in this situation, we do want the Tailwind, right? We do want this Tailwind. Oh, are they really going to Thunderbolt me? Because if they are going to Thunderbolt me, we actually just want to go. We don't outspeed their Zacian anyways with Pelipper, but we can outspeed their Gengar with Pelipper. This is so greedy. This is greedy. I'm doing it though. Maximum greed. This is how I would play it. Behemoth Blade. Never ever lucky. Losing the speed tie on the Imprisoned Zacian, you absolutely hate to see it. And they disrespecting after the Pelipper. They're nuking Pelipper this turn. Poor old defenseless Pelipper. That means they have to have Entei in the back. Hey, they can't protect anymore though on that Gengar, so that's gonna be nice when we go after it next turn. Icy Wind, bro, never lucky. That's fine. Icy Wind's actually really cool on Gengar, so get it? It's cool. Yeah, Zacian can't do shit now though. Probably gonna switch with Pelipper though. Don't really know if I want to switch out for like Rillaboom yet. It's kind of hard to say, right? I don't know if I actually want to switch out there. Tailwind's up though, that's great. We can just save this Pelipper. I think I might want to switch in Moltres, that's a great one. I actually think I'm going to Behemoth Blade the Zacian slot, as opposed to the Gengar. As weird as that sounds, I think that might be the right play. Because that Gengar, it can't protect, but I'm not afraid of Gengar, and I'd rather pin their Zacian. Like, their Zacian has to be switching here, right? Or subbing. I don't think it would sub. Yeah, we'll see. This might be a weird play. Cool, I'm totally down to chunk something that comes in. Entei? I thought the Gengar was going to switch for Entei, and Zacian was going to sub. That's what I thought was going to happen, so I didn't want to waste my time there. But Moltres is okay versus this board. Let's see what this Gengar's doing. Is he going to Will-O-Wisp us? Because it's staying in. It's just staying in. It's doing its own thing. Behemoth Blade not doing a ton. And the Gengar has to be sashed. Like, the plan is... Oh my gosh, you see how much damage? That's nutty. Are you Will-O-Wisping or Icy Winding again? Icy Wind. Cool. So, the good thing is we still should outspeed these guys. Zacian still would outspeed. Moltres still outspeeds. I do think that Fiery Wrath... Behemoth Blade will actually get us the KOs that we need. Fiery Wrath. do we want to Fiery Wrath and... Because the Gengar has to be sashed. And if the Entei has Protect, it can't use it, right? This is fine. As long as it's not Pinchberry Entei, we're okay. I don't want to get Curse Bodied here either. That's another thing that I really don't want to happen. E-Speed, go for it. I'm disrespecting your Entei with this lead right now anyways. Berserk, you actually just helped us out. Thanks, fam. So we're doubling into the Gengar too. Fiery Wrath, Behemoth Blade from downtown, Zacian. And then when their Zacian comes out, like they might have Sacred Sword, they might have Play Rough. We'll see what they got. Got that Curse Body. Survey says Curse Body Gengar. Yo, sometimes lucky. Oh my goodness, big damage. Big damage. You'll love to see that. We still have, I think, one more turn of Tailwind. We still have our Pelipper in the back. We still have our Rillaboom able to come out and provide fake outs. That's another thing we got to watch out for. We want to be able to maybe weave in like Rillaboom and get that fake out pressure up. But there's Zacian, unless it has Sacred Sword, can't do anything, right? I guess you can still have Play Rough. And I don't know if I care about that enough. Rillaboom, cool, they can fake out. We can still protect. I actually think I'm in an okay enough position to where I want to just protect with my Zacian for one turn, because I don't want to get fake outed in Sacred Sword. I think that's how you lose the game. And then maybe we can just bring in something like our Rillaboom, provide our fake out pressure, one-shot their Rillaboom with our Zacian, and we good to go. If we throw our Zacian, we lose our Imprison Tech. I think we're actually just going to go for an Air Slash into that Rilla, in case it's vested. You know, I still think at +1 we might be able to take it out. I think the Moltres also could totally have Hurricane on this team since we do have a Pelipper. It's one thing to note, you might want to tech Hurricane there instead of Air Slash. Just because, like, normally you don't want to tech the Hurricane if it's not raining, but you have access to rain, so you might as well. So let's see. They can totally fake out the Moltres. I ain't got no problem with that. But let's see if they have a Play Rough. Survey says Grassy Glide. Blocked. So they're doubling into the Zacian, I think. And Sacred Sword. So they do have Sacred Sword, which is probably the worst case scenario for an Imprisoned Zacian to be in. But this can do a lot of damage. You might die. You did. Cool. That's great damage. And they shouldn't be able to one-shot our Zacian with a Sacred Sword. They should not. So we're going to be in a great spot. And remember how terrible, unlucky that first turn went. We ate a Behemoth Blade when we did not have to. We lost a speed time in having that happen. Yeah, you might as well just go for Fire Wrath because we don't want to miss. They're both resisted. And let's just go. You can only hit one. About to get that 4 stock. Sacred Sword, go for it, Chief. Yo, we dummy thick. Actually, we have no points in bulk, but we got the damage. We're using the good moves. And the thing is, like, they had the moves that played around on Prison. So, good job for them. I still personally like Sacred Sword Zacian. But we're going to take this. Zacian, Moltres busted. Really refreshing to use Moltres again after, you know, I think the last time I used Moltres was probably Series 7, maybe even, yeah, probably Series 7. I'm not a big Moltres guy, but Moltres pulled its weight. And we take those wins on the ranked ladder. You love to see it. Yeah, we've been ranking up. We have been ranking up in this little series here. 269, feeling fine. Pretty nice. Let's see what you got. Shadow Rider. Okay. So Shadow Rider is going to outspeed and invalidate like a lot of our tech. Mindshell gets Wide Guard. I think it's actually a pretty decent lead. Mindshell also low-key checks the Staka. The thing is also, you got to remember, if we're playing against people that are like 269 in the world, they're not just going to Astral us. They're not just going to go Astral Barrage, cool. And because our Mindshell doesn't have access to a Sash, it's going to be really sad. Do we have Wide Guard here? No, right? No. The Wide Guard would be cool here. Maybe we can bluff Wide Guard? That'd be sick. I'm going to lead Cinderace. I think Cinderace Mindshell could be a really, really cool lead. Because we have the access to fake out pressure, but then we switch in the Rilla and we sucker punch that Calyrex. I think that's probably what our best play is. And then I guess we bring our Zacian. It feels so weird not bringing Moltres at this matchup. I don't think Moltres is great here. I think Pelipper could be amazing, but I think we have to do something just like this. And I'm not the biggest fan, but we're trying to pull a fast one. This is the perfect example, though, of like Life Orb on Cinderace would be so much nicer. I don't know if we actually OHKO that Calyrex. Good thing is they don't have any Intimidators. We don't really need the safety odds for anything on this Cinderace, in my opinion. Life Orb would be very, very nice. I want to see if they lead Lele. Another thing to note is, like, I'm leading Mindshell. We're going to see what they lead. If they read me switching in my Cinderace to make sure to take away Psychic Terrain, I'd love to see them lead, like, Lele Calyrex. That's what I want to see. So I can just switch in my Rilla, take away the terrain, and Sucker Punch. And if they lose their Calyrex on turn 1, we'll probably have just enough tools to win. I think Zacian kind of just rolls over the rest of their game. But let's see what they got. You know, this team definitely has the tools. Whimsicott's great. That's why one reason why we're leading Mind Shot to check it. There it is right there. So let's see. I can't really stop them from getting up that tail one. I can't stop it. I mean, I can fake up that it's switching Lele, right? And that Urshifu is actually just like ruining my life over here. Yeah, we have to switch in Rilla, which is very not great. And I actually want to say we should fake out. You fake out the Lele, but or the Whims, but I'm not a big fan here. This is really, really bad. Great lead from them. Wow. What an see, like, this is that 269 level player. They're not going with their Calyrex. They're not going with their Lele. They're forcing me to respect those options, which is how you should be playing these restrictive formats. Forcing me to respect your options is so, so good, because if I don't do the things that respect Calyrex, they just say Calyrex and I lose. So, and they don't even have to do those things. They're going with the right play. I want to see if they're switching in Lele. Remember, Cinderace would switch out first because it's faster than Urshifu, so that's like another reason why we're kind of boned in this situation. If we had a slower Pokemon switch out, we'd be able to do that a little bit better. All right, cool. We get a fake out. That's great. I will definitely take a fake out here. Break Sash there. Was that eject? That works. No Tailwind at all, ever. You could Surging Strikes my Rilla. They're probably bringing out their Lele here, which is amazing for them. Yeah, Lele's so good here. I love Lele for them. Are they Surging Striking our Mind Shout? That would suck. Because then you just get to bring out... Oh my gosh, that's bad. Who are they going after? Surging Strikes. Who are you going after, buddy? Alright, cool. That's good. Rillaboom can soak this. Now, I think Rillaboom can soak the damage from that Lele as well. I do think that it can. The thing is, Lele outspeeds Mind Shout too. 95? Oh my gosh, that's such a bad situation for me to be in. I guess I gotta switch Zacian in there. And like, Mind Shout is like herp derp useless right now. I don't want to switch in here. Maybe I'll go for a Moonblast, not a Psyshock. We have Moltres. I'll be greedy. I don't think we need. It's Cinderace at this point. What is Cinderace even doing? You know, at this point, what is Cinderace even doing? That Rillaboom, not Rillaboom. The whole board. It's Scarf Lele. Like everything about this is just bad for us. So we'll see. I do think we need to reset our terrain. It'd be nice to save this Mind Shout in the very end, because if we can get a board that's like Mind Shout and Zacian versus Calyrex, we can be in a great spot. They're switching out. I think that's a good play that they're switching out there, because they want to maintain that Urshifu, because they know just how good Urshifu is in this matchup. So that's good. They're doing that to block. I think they're going after our Rillaboom slot, which if they go with if they throw in a Moonblast or a Psyshock in there, or a Psychic or whatever, we're gonna be fine. Even if they Dazzle in here, we're gonna be fine, because Zacian and Cinderace resist. So let's see it. Survey says Moonblast. Cool. That was a great play. That was a great play for me switching this in. Using that fire typing defensively. And we can assume that that's a Scarf Lele, right? So the good thing is we'll be able to get a double KO here. And we know they have an Urshifu, right? We know they have Urshifu. Who's more of a threat? I think that Whimsicott's more of a threat, so I'm going to throw my guaranteed Behemoth Blade into that slot. I don't think I need to Imprison right now. I don't think Retech's as valuable. And even though the Urshifu has D-Tech, so it doesn't really matter. And I think Gunk Shot would be nice, but I really don't want to miss this. I think I'm just going to go for a Pyro into the lit. I got to Gunk Shock it. I guess I can switch that up and Pyro the Whims then, because I don't want to miss, but like there's a much higher % chance to miss the Gunk Shot as opposed to the Pyro Ball. Let's just go for it. You might want to even switch out if you're not going to be. You might want to actually just use Flare Blitz on Cinderace. Same base power, no miss. Dracovish, no Calyrex. They didn't bring Calyrex. That's great. We can actually greatly play around this. So we have Fake Out. We don't need Mind Show anymore. We can actually just use Mind Show as like a free throwaway switch in. This is actually still going to do decent damage to this Dracovish. Like, I'm not even going to lie. Like, that's some pretty sick damage. If we were using Orbed Cinderace, we could just switch in really here and Sucker Punch it. Yeah, I like this for me. If they bring out the Lele here, we're probably going to win. They should be bringing out Urshifu, though. Just throwing it out there. They should definitely bring out the Urshifu here. Because we're going to go switch in Rilla, Sucker. Yeah, great play from them. Okay. If we had Life Orb! If we had Life Orb! I think we're still going to go for it. I think that's a full sweeper on that Dracovish. And I do think that this can take it out. If this doesn't take it out, oh my gosh, we are probably going to lose for this. So Zacians, remember, switching out, if they were they have Tailwind up, so if they wanted to switch into Lele, they would have been switching up first, which means they wouldn't have had their terrain. So we guarantee get our terrain there. We're just trying to wait out their Trick Room turns a little bit. Taking out this Dracovish will be very, very nice. Survey says, Sucker Punch, Libero boosted. Life Orb would make it so we KO the Dracovish, I think. Guaranteed? Yeah, I think it would have KO'd it. Oh well. Vicious Rend, not doing a lot of damage, but not a ton. And Surging Strikes into our Cinderace, probably going to be able to take it out. But it's going to let us bring out our Mind Shao, I think. Oh, doubling into the Rilla. I like that play. I can get around that. That's a great play from them. See, the problem is, like, we don't have Sash on our Mind Shao. They don't know that, I guess. But they're going to want to switch in their Lele next turn, right? They're going to want to switch the Lele in. And you can see that it's Scarf Dracovish. Because he's faster. Actually, yeah, he's faster. Well, is Urshifu taking any damage? We haven't seen that it's Scarfed. That's bad. We can bring this thing out, but it doesn't get us anywhere, you know? It really doesn't. I think you have to bring the Zacian out and double protect and then switch out. They're switching. Are they going to switch Lele in this turn? Switching Lele in this turn might actually be better for us because, like, we can't do anything to a lot of these mons. Really, really hard. A Life Orb Cinderace, like, you need the Life Orb. Like, if we had the Life Orb, we'd won this game a while ago. 2 turns on Tailwind, like, I could double protect here. This is so greedy. I'm gonna do it. I actually feel really, really behind. I feel we're super freaking behind right now. I think they're switching out Urshifu for Lele to stop Sucker Punch. And I'm going to try and punish the Lele. And I think they're going to go after the Zacian with the Vicious Rend. Remember, this is a guy that's like ranked 200 in the world. Switching out the Lele, that's probably a better play. So, good job for them. That stops Sucker Punch right there. And I want to see who they're going after. And again, like, we're protecting because we're trying to block Vicious Rend. You can't block protect Urshifu. So, like, that's what makes this play so good. They get to keep the Urshifu on the board, which is the correct target to keep on the board. Yeah, I could have just went for an attack that turn. Who are they hitting? It's correct target, too. So they ignored our Zacian, which I think is the right play. I do think it's the right play. Damn. What I also really like about that is that they switched out their Dracovish for Lele in case I did want to go for like a close combat or something. It would have been forced into the Lele slot. Because if I wanted to finish off, I mean, I would have been Behemoth Bladed anyways. But let's see, could I have won the game if we did that? If I just like let Cinderace die and do that? Because like you can see how useless Mind Shao is in this situation. It's like completely useless. We have to go for the Behemoth Blade here. And this is a perfect example. Like, we do not need like Black Belt on this thing. We also, it would have been nicer to be Jolly. We don't really need Taunt either. Like, I think Protect is always really valuable on these wide guard mons. I think you want to be able to protect to play around stuff like this. Protect's not that great versus Urshifu, obviously, but like we could protect our Mind Shao this turn and have Urshifu or have a Zacian attack, and then they're probably going for Surging Strikes into the Zacian, right? I mean, we'll see. They should be going into the Zacian. If they go into the Mind Shao, they're over-respecting Mind Shao, which you know what? I don't have a problem with them over-respecting Mind Shao because like it would break Sash, so it's the good play from them respecting Sash Mind Shao. So they actually don't even get to know that we're bad. Then let's see how this goes. You know, we can see a little bit about what they're using on the rest of their mons. At this point, we're not revealing any info by staying in. Normally, I'm a big proprietor of like, if you can't win, like you should probably just run because you're revealing more info. But at this point, we're not revealing any additional info. We know that they're Scarf Dracovish. The last thing we kind of want to see is if they're Sash Urshifu. So we might as well just stay in and maybe try and clock a Sash on that Urshifu. I think our best shot here is Tailwind's Dunzo. They're going to be outspeeding our Zacian, I think, maybe. We're going to go for an attack onto the Dracovish here, and then we're going to try and crit KO that Urshifu with a close combat. I think that's probably our best play. It's probably the only play that we could possibly have here. And we don't want to use close combat. We want to Behemoth Blade this guy. And that's the only shot we got. Here's the Behemoth Blade. I think that we outspeed the Scarf Dracovish, I think, even with, like, just regular Zacian. I don't think Dracovish can get fast enough. So we take out the Vish. It might have been Bandage, who knows? I think it was some sort of choice set, though, for sure. And then I don't think we die to Surging Strikes. And if we get the crit and it's not sashed, there is shots that we win. So, yeah, we got one shot, one opportunity. Mom Spaghetti. Might as well play to your outs. At this point, we're not revealing any additional info. We're a sweeper Zacian. They know that off of basically just how we've been playing it so far. So let's go. Survey says, are you big sash? Yeah, that means we could have won this game by actually just attacking that extra turn that we took to protect. We basically lost this game by one turn. So if we wouldn't have played that defensive, we could have won. And we don't even get to know if it's sashed. Close game, though. Very, very close game. I feel we played to our outs. I don't think that's a Mystic Water. I do think that is Sash Urshifu in this situation. I feel that did a little bit too much to an Urshifu that would be bulky, and he's not doing enough with Mystic Water. And those are basically the two common items, Sash and Mystic Water. So it's probably not Sash. Sorry, it's probably not Mystic Water. It probably is Sash. He was probably super safe the whole time. And we got messed up. They didn't bring their Calyrex, and we over-prepped for Calyrex. And I think it just shows how good of a player they are, because they, knew the threat that their team said that it had, and it forced me to over-respect it, and they punished me for respecting their ability to be a good player. So if that last game taught us anything, it's that our Cinderace needs a Life Orb. It really does. I actually think because of this lead here, I'm actually just going to leave Moltres. I think we have to flinch talent that Calyrex. I don't think we have a great way to deal with that Pokemon. We have Mind Shout. I think I'm going to go like this, because we can fake out their fake out leads and just go for Fiery Wrath. And if they get up their amazing, super cool Trick Room, we have Wide Guard. So I think that's probably the best shot that we got here. I think that we want to go with these guys, as weird as that sounds. I think Pelipper's still amazing here. It's great versus things. It's even pretty good versus... It's great versus Rilla, I think. It's good versus Sin, good versus Entei. Decent enough versus Calyrex as well, especially because we have a bulkier set. I do think, though, like I said, we're not using our Sash correctly. Super bulky Pelipper. It's always nice when you have that Sash Pelipper, because like, ha, you can't kill me with the electric attack, but like, you can put a Walking Berry on here. You can put Walking Berry on your Moltres. You can do so many. You can use your Sash so much better on the Mind Shout, I think, or even on the Cinderace if you're not gonna use the Orb. Let's see how things play out here. I want my revenge after that close last game. So that's a great lead right here. They have access to Fake Out. We can Fake Out first. I think I'm actually just gonna close combat the Incin. And I will go for the Fiery Wrath. I want to be able to flinch the Mimikyu. Like, I could fake out the Incin and go for this, but... yeah, I don't actually have a problem with doing it just like this. Because we can just KO this Incin right here. We are adamant, we are Black Belt. It should be going down. We're not affected by the fake out. We could fake out the Incin and make sure they don't fake out our Moltres, and so we get the Fiery Wrath off. I don't know how much it matters, because we just have... oh, they're dead. Oh, Chople! Yo, sick. See, Chople and Sin, I've been saying it for like 4 or 5 vids. It is the way of the future. The new wave, Chople and Sin. You'll love to see it. Can we get some flinches, though? Can we get some flinches, though? Good damage on the Incin. Breaks the Mimikyu Disguise. Give me a double flinch. If I get this double flinch, I'm going to Vegas. No double flinch. No Vegas. They should have just hit that. They should have just hit it. Because it would have broke potential Sash. You're disrespecting me. Let's see what they're using here. It has to be Trick Room, right? Has to be Trick Room. Survey says... there's the boy. Give me that flinch! Give me the flinch. Give me the flinch. Give me the flinch. I need the flinch. Flinch, flinch, flinch. Flinch, flinch, fuck. Alright, yeah, we just got to Wide Guard it out. And they can kill our Mind Shout. We have Incin? No, we have Pelipper. That's not bad either. We got a Wide Guard. Yeah, and there's no... and everyone's like, you could have taunted Mimikyu, taunt Mimikyu! Mimikyu has Mental Ward. I guess we had talked about that. Mimikyu, 1,000 million % has Mental Ward. No reason to taunt it. There's no reason for taunt to be on this Mon. It should be Protect. So let's just go. Mimikyu totally has it. So there's a Wide Guard. Let's see what you got. Shadow Sneak. Policy proc? Yeah, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. Ain't got no problems with that. You do you, boo. Got that big damage. Glacial Lance? Never heard of it. You'll love to see. Blocked. Because they didn't do decent damage. And I actually like doing this instead of like the Nasty Plot. Because I feel like I want to stick as much damage as possible. Let's see. We have Zacian, Pelipper. I can Protect and switch on my Pelipper right now. And then re-switch and send out my Mind Shout for Fake Out. Yeah, I don't hate that. Like, what are my other options? They protect, play rough, Oko me. This is where if we had a sash, it'd be pretty nice. I'm going to just do the same play. I think it's okay. Okay. They're not protecting with their Calyrex? Yeah, go for it. You can high horsepower me. Oh, they just went for their lance. Bro, if they're going to be bad, that's fine. I have absolutely no problem with them being bad. You can totally KO the Mind Shout. You should be losing your Calyrex this turn. Crit, never lucky. Never, ever lucky. Higher percent chance to miss than to crit with that move. Alright. Oh my gosh. Calyrex down. Calyrex Dunzo. We take those. Pelipper is pretty good here because it's going to underspeed a lot of things. And want to save the Zacian. Because they got things like Incineroar. Pelipper might be underspeeding this, actually. Pelipper has 4 points, and its speed, it's only a little bit faster than Sin. I don't think we underspeed, though. Let's see. Turns on Trick Room are... Also, doing it like this makes it so we don't have to get intimidated on Zacian. I'm going to make them bring out Incineroar. Oh, I think Double Protect is not bad here. They're probably just going to run. 2 turns on Trick Room? Yeah, just protect it out here. There's nothing worth playing around. I wouldn't be surprised to see a run, to be honest. Oh, no run. Hey, no run, no problem. See what you got. See if no, there's probably going to be another party shot. Fake out. Okay. So then party shot me next turn. And play off into Moltres. Cool. So we're going to switch out Moltres for Zacian and probably just get the Mimikyu off the board because the Incineroar's party shotting out. So switch this, block play rough. And just go for the weather. Do we want a weather ball or do we want to, yeah, we'll weather ball just in case they want to switch out Mimikyu for Entei for some reason. Feeny, we can just go for Hurricanes and stuff like that when it comes out. Battle's canceled. Yeah, we take those wins. Yo, look at us regaining the wins. The higher part of the ladder. Little things about this team though. Let's go and actually check out the rental code one more time. Again, this team, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this rental. You guys watching this video can absolutely use this rental. Team is totally fine, totally great. I think it's actually really cool that the people that are submitting teams, they're submitting like good teams. There's nothing really wrong with this. I think if you just want to fine tune it just a little bit, I do think that Hurricane can be used on Moltres over Air Slash just because you do have the ability to set your rain. I think a Walkenberry would be amazing here, just because you can improve your Reggie-like matchup just a little bit. Rillaboom, I think that's a great set. I really like the speed reduced nature on that thing. Very, very smart. Zacian's great. Mindshao, you don't need that black belt. You would be better off with Sash or even like safety goggles on the Mindshao. I also don't really think you need Taunt. I'm just personally, I'm not a big fan of Taunt on Mindshao because anything worth taunting in this format, we've come to a point where anything worth taunting has a Mental Herb other than Porygon 2. So like when you want to taunt those Amoonguses, if they really want their Spores, they're going to have Mental Herb. If you're going to taunt those Mimikyus, if they really want their Trick Room, they're going to have Mental Herb, just like that. So you don't really need to taunt anything. You'd be better off with like Protect, U-Turn, Knock Off, so many cool things you could use in that last spot, and I think that Sash would be better off there. I think Pelipper, I think you're rocking such a bulky set here. I personally, if it were me, I would put Scald on there over the Weather Ball, and I would actually put a Rocky Helmet on there, because you want to make it so Pelipper's a great switch in for, you know, a lot of different, how would I put this? Pelipper can be a great switch in to block things like Zacian, Behemoth Blade, or Urshifu Surging Strikes. We saw that Urshifu is a little bit of a problem for this team, so maybe Pelipper switching in on that can do a lot of damage. And I think Rocky Helmet is just an underrated item in this format in general. Cinderace, I do think that you should put a Life Orb on that thing. It makes it so you actually still get your rolls. You can also change that Cinderace to Adamant if you really wanted to. We talked a little bit about when we were looking at the EVs on these things. You can still be Jolly if you want to outspeed Whimsicott, because that's something worth outspeeding. But if you wanted to go Adamant and make sure that you're outspeeding Mindshows, because like a Mindshow would get to like 172. So like if Cinderace, you take this out, you still have to be Jolly. But you can go Jolly, and I mean, if you don't care about outspeeding Mindshao, Mindshaw's not that important. I would say the only Pokemon you need to outspeed are base 100, so to 167, which means you can cut this, even cut some of those points to like 236 maybe. Now it's a little bit too much still. 228. Yeah, so you can go right there, right? Is that the number that I'm thinking of? Yeah, so 228 lets you still outspeed base 100s like Zapdos and stuff like that. You're afforded the luxury of going Adamant. Maybe change this to like a Life Orb over here. And then, like I said, you still have a lot of extra points. So like you can put those up there to make it so you just don't take as much recoil. And I think that like there is I know you don't like taking the recoil, but like I think that Pyro Ball, it's great when like you're using like max moves and stuff, but I really don't like missing with Pyro Ball at all. The fact that you're using like Gunk Shot, these are all really unpredictable moves. I would probably just go Flare Blitz if I was gonna just do it. And again, you could rock the big Adamant there. So I would use something like that if it were me personally. Just because I want to be able to do as much damage as possible with the Cinderace and still get those secure KOs off the Libero boosted Sucker Punches and things like that. That's what I would do. You could also, if you don't want to do any of those things, I think White Herb would also be good on Cinderace. So that's my personal opinion. Hopefully you like this little series. Remember, guys, if you have teams you want to submit, you can submit them right here on Patreon. There's a link to it in the description. All of the tiers that you can submit. The $2 tier, the $5 tier, even the low ones. Just sign up for the Patreon, check out all the cool content. We have a ton of rental codes for all my Series 10 teams on there. You can check those out as well as like write-ups, little in-depth guides showing how you should do specific types of leads and things like that. So check out the Patreon if you haven't, and think about leaving a team. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.